Mayor and City Council, City of Port Allen, Louisiana, Wednesday, December 10th, 2025, 5:30 p.m. Each person must decide before entering the chamber which agenda item they wish to comment on. If they are not seated in the chamber when the agenda item is heard, they will be notified by an officer to enter the council chamber to address the agenda item. Agenda, please silence all electronic devices. Call to order. Pledge of Allegiance. Stand, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please. Ms. Joseph. Present. Ms. Gordon. Here. Mr. Hubble. Here. Ms. King. Here. Mr. Payne. Here. For approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of October 8th, 2025. Motion by Councilwoman Gordon. Second by Councilwoman Joseph. Roll call, please. Ms. Joseph. Yes. Ms. Gordon. Yes. Mr. Hubble.
Yes.
Ms. King.
Yes.
Mr. Payne.
Yes.
Motion passes. 5, public comments. Comments from the public are allowed in accordance with LA Revised Statute 42:11, Section 2 through 34, and specifically limited to an agenda item to be considered during the meeting. 3 minutes per person and 15 minutes per topic. No one signed in. 6, consider approving the Community Development Committee and other appointed persons to proceed with plans for the Heritage Park.
We talked about that, and we don't have a full committee yet to talk about Heritage Park, but we talked about that at the committee meeting, that we would move with, working with the park on 14th Street, being known as Heritage Park, paying special homage to the heritage of the heroes and sheroes of the city of Port Allen. And I would like a favorable motion from the council.
Second.
There's a motion by Councilwoman Joseph, second by Councilwoman King. Anyone from the audience wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Ms. Joseph? Yes. Ms. Gordon?
Yes.
Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Motion passes.
7, consider approving updating signage for all community signs within the city.
As we went through the city, we noticed that the signs in each one of the areas that identify the various subdivisions have a little age on them. And we would like permission from the council to go and get bids for putting new signs in all the communities throughout the city, and replacing and updating the signs that all be uniform.
I know Mr. Hubble had brought that up about the lights, so we just need to keep that in mind if you vote for, to change the signs. We also need to update the lighting, to shine on them to make them stand out.
And where we'll put signs, we're asking for favorable approval for signs and lighting on the signs.
That's me in the neighborhood, talk about like the I ain't never saw one.
Carolina Place, those, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You asking for it, okay.
Is there a design that's been submitted?
No, sir, we will bring the design back. Right now, we're just asking for permission to move forward with the project.
And landscape.
Yeah, and we'll landscape it and light it. And we can bring it back to you that we have permission to move forward.
Motion by Councilman Hubble.
Second.
By Councilman Payne. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Ms. Joseph? Yes. Ms. Gordon?
Yes.
Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Motion passes.
8, consider introducing an ordinance to increase the salaries of elected positions from the city of Port Allen. These positions include mayor, chief of police, municipal clerk, city judge, and constable.
Council members, you should have a draft ordinance in front of you. As we mentioned at the committee meeting last week, in order to do a draft ordinance, obviously we have to have a starting spot in terms of numbers. So what we did is we just did a 10% across the board raise for the mayor, chief of
last week we discussed, breaking it down from not all getting the same amount. Is that correct? You'll still stand that way?
And again, this is just introduction tonight. If a council member has a suggested revision that they would like to see, if you get that to us, we can always put that in a draft form, and that could be a potential option for final adoption. Tonight is just the introduction. Tonight is just the introduction, and again, this is how it's coming introduced. But if any council member has another proposal, like they would like to move for, if you tell me what that is, we can have that prepared as an amendment, and, you want to introduce that as the version at next month's meeting on final adoption, that's acceptable as well. But tonight is essentially just to kind of start the ordinance process. I mean, and y'all can still debate tonight about what you'd like to see or not see in it, and that's perfectly fine. But again, and it doesn't have to be tonight when you tell me that. If you tell me later on, I want to see what it looks like with this or that in it. We can have that prepared as a potential amendment.
So where did you get that 10% from? That just
We
you
just
came
had to,
up with?
we just had to start somewhere, so we just, I talked to the mayor, we just said, all right, let's just start with 10% across the board and use that as the starting point. And again, it's now, the council, you have any option really that you want in terms of how you proceed with this.
Saying changing the ordinance, basically.
Yeah, we're changing the ordinance to the
Yeah.
percentage of what we want them to have. But, I mean, if it was just a rough draft, I think we should have started off from the top instead of the bottom. And then present it to us and let us discuss on how we wanted it to be, increased.
Last week you were out, Mr. Hubble. Adrian gave a chart with 6, 8, and 10. So we didn't just pull 10% off. The chart had 6, 8, and 10. So we started at the top to decrease, to go backwards if need be.
Again, you got option. I mean, you could go 10% across the board. You can go 9% off the board. You can go 1% across the board, and you don't have to do it across the board either. I mean, technically, you could look at different positions if that's what the council is inclined to do.
Yeah, that's what we thought we was looking at.
Just introduction tonight, so.
Correct. This is just introduction, and like I said, if y'all have other versions that you want to consider, if you let us know, we can put that in writing for you prior to next month's meetings, and we'll just give it whenever individual council member wants to see something. Just let me know. I'll get that. We'll put it in writing. We'll give it to whichever council member is asking for that.
So I'll motion it.
Motion by Councilwoman King, second by Councilman Hubble. Anyone from the audience wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 9, public hearings to obtain views to approve an ordinance to amend Appendix C, Section 25 of the Port Allen Code of Ordinance relative to sewer user fees. No one signed in.
Just ask anybody.
Anyone from the public wish to be heard on this? Public hearing is closed. 10, consider approving an ordinance to amend Appendix C, Section 25 of the Port Allen Code of Ordinance relative to sewer user fees. Ms. Rose? Ordinance number 9 of 2025, Port Allen Code of Ordinances relative to sewer usage and revised regulations. 11. I'm Yes. 11, consider adoption of the process verbal for the tax election for the Port Allen Police Department.
Yeah, and just to read, from the substantive portion of the process verbal, the polling places above specified being the only polling places designated at which to hold said election, it was shown that there was a total of 733 votes cast in favor of the proposition and a total of 197 votes cast against the proposition as here and above set forth, and there was a majority of 536 votes cast in favor of the proposition as here and above set forth. Therefore, the governing authority of the city hereby declares and proclaims in open and public session that the proposition as here and above set forth passed by a majority of the votes cast by the qualified electors voting at the said election held in the city of Port Allen, state of Louisiana, on Saturday, November 15th, 2025.
Can I get a motion? Motion by Councilman Hubble,
I'll second.
second by Councilman Payne. Anyone from the audience wish to be heard? Mr. Anderson?
Can you guys hear me through this mic?
Yes.
I've been coming to the meetings a long time, and I've never seen none of you guys speak in your own mic. I don't know if all you guys citizens out here hear everything that they say. So I'm requesting from now on, if anybody speak up here, speak into the mic. None of you guys pull the mic over. Y'all just talk to each other. That's what y'all do. Y'all talk to each other. So y'all need each other. Do you hear everything they say? Some things, but not everything. And you know, okay, now I'm hear it better. That's how y'all was hearing before they turn the mic on. Turn your mic on and let us hear what you say. Whether you vote for it or not vote for it, whether you speak in the mic. Don't have your mic way over here. We don't know what you guys talking about. Speak into the mic. So when I watch you guys on Facebook and the meeting, I can hear you. Because even when I look at that, I don't hear you. So I don't know what y'all talking about. Speak into the mic.
So far away. Almost stand up to talk, Mr. Evans.
Roll call, please.
This is to consider adoption of the process verbal for the tax.
Yeah. Mr. Hubble, you motioned, and Councilman Payne second. So we need a roll call.
Yes.
12, consider adoption of the resolution for the election for the consider adoption of the resolution for the election for the tax related to the Port Allen Police Department.
This is a resolution providing for the canvassing and returns and declaring the result of a special election held in the city of Port Allen, state of Louisiana on November 15, 2025 to renew and levy and collect the collection of a tax of 5.020 mills on all property subject to taxation in the city currently collected therein and providing for other matters in connection therewith. Be it resolved by the city council acting as the governing authority of the city of Port Allen, parish of West Baton Rouge, state of Louisiana, Section 1, the city does now proceed in open and public session to examine the official certified tabulations of votes cast at the election held in the city on November 15, 2025. Said tabulations having been prepared and certified by the election officials serving as the designated polls. And the city does now further proceed to examine and canvass the results of said election. A process verbal of the canvass of the returns for the election shall be made. A certified copy shall be forwarded to the Secretary of State, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, who shall record the same in his office. Another certified copy thereof shall be forwarded to the clerk of court and ex officio recorder of mortgages in and for the parish of West Baton Rouge, who shall record the same in the mortgage records of the parish, and another copy thereof shall be retained in the archives of the city. The result of said election shall be promulgated by publication in the manner provided by law. This resolution shall take effect immediately upon adoption. That is your resolution.
Roll call or anything?
Roll call vote.
Can I get a motion?
Second.
A motion by Councilman Hubble, second by Councilwoman Gordon. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Roll call, please. Yes.
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 13, update on progress of resolving 2023-24 audit findings.
Okay, I have the report here. From the audit findings, and everyone has it in their section in your binders. In each entry and where we were and where we are as of today. The state agreed upon a procedure. The entry made no reference to budget to actual comparisons or any reference to written updates of the progress toward resolving the audit findings. Now, the insurance policy for theft did not cover all employees who handle cash for the fiscal year. It's still not done. Received applications from different agents for a policy to cover the positions, not individuals. Positions are 3 office clerks, AP clerk, HR payroll clerk, and mayor secretary, looking for about $600 for annual policy and gathering information. Employees did not complete sexual harassment training. We have annual training in December, but not everyone completed this for the 24 calendar year, and the report was completed late, so we're working on doing a better job this year, and so we'll have better findings. Former findings for 23 timely account of reconciliations. Right now, they said they're not resolved, but they're working on it. Findings for non-compliance of the audit law and deadline. They're working on this to resolve the problem. The new findings for 24, the timely account reconciliations. Many significant accounts were not reconciled from the subsidiary ledger to general ledger until year-end preparations for audit. In 25, still not true, but we're working to improve it. The findings for 24, the non-compliance with the audit law, the report not to the LLA by deadline, working to get this done in the current audit. So we have a new director of finance, and he is diligently, he's not here today, but he's diligently working, and he's reporting to you every month. I think you also got a copy via email that he's keeping abreast of what we're trying to do and the findings that we've had. And so he has to report on this. There's no need to take a vote. It's just a matter of we have to report to the council every month where we are and what we have and have not done. Next thing, Mayor.
14, presentation of the monthly financial report.
I have the goodie here too, and I think everybody got a copy via email. You also have a copy in your binders if you want to kind of look at a hard copy, like 40 pages long. But it's a detailed copy of each line item. Adrian did not mention any significant things that we should point out at this time. So we'll just work along to be on point on those. Any specific questions? I
have any questions? 15, presentation of the draft audit presentation. Tanny? We can't hear you. Please turn it on.
Let me try that. Good evening, Mayor and the council. Well, I don't want to give anything away, but just kind of hearing the prior year audit findings, I can already tell y'all that I think all of them have been resolved from this current year that we're doing an audit. I gave each one of y'all, I know we just printed this about a few hours ago, but what I have is a presentation, just kind of a summary of everything that I think will make it a little bit easier to follow rather than me flipping through 90 pages trying to explain everything. So flipping over to the third page with the scope and conclusion, just a little bit about what we did. June 30th, 2025 financial statements. We performed the audit, statewide AUP, and an additional single audit on major programs this year. We have opined a unmodified opinion, which is a clean opinion. Means everything from what we tested is fairly stated in all material respects in conformity with US GAAP or generally accepted accounting principles. We perform our audit in accordance with U.S. Generally Auditing Standards, Louisiana Governmental Audit Guide, Government Auditing Standards, and this year, which was new, was the uniform guidance with that single audit of the major program, which was the low-income housing. This year, the city of Port Allen expended more than $750,000 in federal awards in the low-income housing, which triggered a single audit. So instead of doing the alternative compliance examination that we've done in the prior years, we've had to do a single audit. And we performed the statewide agreed upon procedures required by the legislative auditor. Flipping over, just kind of doing a high level balance sheet of the general fund, showing 2025 to 2024, we've had a net increase in assets of $1,518,000. Our total liabilities increased from $288,000 to $407,000, which brings our total fund balance increase to 1.39, or basically $1.4 million increase, which is very healthy, very good. A lot of that was due to kind of the maintaining of the sales and use tax, sales tax revenue that y'all receive every month. And then on the next page, I kind of have, again, another high-level summary, just a bar graph of the last couple of years compared to this year. If your total revenues, kind of see the total expenditures went up last year. A lot of that was primarily due to the ARPA funding that y'all had received. Y'all were spending it. This year, it's kind of winding down, or it has been winding down. And total other financing sources, that's just transfers between the general fund and your municipal debt service fund for the bond. And showing, again, trending healthily, a growing fund balance that's increasing, which is good. And then flipping over to the net position of proprietary funds, this is your sewer and your water and gas funds combined, showing that we had a total asset decrease of about $542,000, but our total liabilities also decreased by $554,000, which led to a net increase of just $12,000. So it's kind of hovering. I know y'all were talking about the sewage rates. I think that's something that is going to be important going down the road. The sewer fund, or the sewer fund and the sewer infrastructure has more repairs and maintenance that I'm kind of seeing every year, just kind of maintaining what we got. I know the sewer rate needs to be adjusted. Then flipping over to the next page is a statement of revenues, expenditures, and change in the net position. And you can kind of see total operating revenues kind of in line with, they're consistent, comparable with prior years. Total operating expenditures did go up, primarily due to there was a small increase in the average cost of gas during the year, which that's going to be your primary driver. And then there was some capital expenditures that city has in every year. The total non-operating revenues, you can kind of see 2024 kind of spiked. That's that ARPA funding that was earned as y'all were spending it, kind of going back to normal levels of interest income and investment income. And then on the next page, the analysis of fund balance, just kind of have a little pie chart, visual of what you have and compared to prior year of your biggest chunk of the pie is your unassigned fund or unrestricted. This is money that the city of Port Allen can use to serve the citizens of city of Port Allen. That's not otherwise assigned, committed by the council, or restricted in nature. The restrictions are primarily the low-income housing fund and the municipal debt service fund for the bonds that have to be paid off for the building and the sewer bond. And then flipping over, we got our internal control communications that I communicate every year. We consider the city's internal controls to perform our test, but we don't opine on the internal controls of the city of Port Allen. Our results of the test did identify one material weakness in internal controls and one non-compliance that required to be reported. They're hand in hand, they're the same finding, and I'll jump to that if you want. I have in the report, the full report, starting on page 91, is where we have our write-up about the finding. It's kind of the same as all the prior years of we have a ordinance in place at the city of Port Allen that requires us to cut off past due customers after so many days. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what that day was, but the city has an informal policy of extending that credit and allowing others to come up with a payment plan. That's fine as far as if it wasn't for this ordinance that you have in place, this wouldn't be an issue, but because of how the ordinance is worded, technically you're not in compliance with that ordinance. Coming up with a payment plan, especially a formalized one that anybody could take advantage of, not take advantage of, but can use if they go through hardship. If, I know with COVID back then, people were laid off or were furloughed. There needs to be a formal policy in place that's written, documented, and reviewed by the mayor or the council, but I would say the mayor, to extend that and come up with a payment plan so that we don't have to cut off people, because I understand the heart's in the right place, but the ordinance has stated that you have to cut the people off. So in there, I have in there a recommendation that provide a reasonable structured payment plan that's reviewed and approved. That's the biggest thing that I took from the legislative auditor when I was looking this up about utilities past due, because I am of the opinion y'all are not the only city or town that has past due customers. So this can't just be a city of Port Allen issue. They agree. As long as the payment plans are made available on consistent terms so that no one customer is favored over another, that is perfectly acceptable. So I wanted to provide a recommendation because I know we keep bringing this up every year, and I wanted to bring something more tangible to you guys this year. Then flipping over, we have our internal control communications for the uniform guidance. Again, we've tested the direct and material compliance of the low-income housing choice voucher program. Everything came back fine. It was clean. Roberto Macedo and Associates did just fine. They came out and met with us. We went over there and did field work. Everything was great. They did a really good job. And then flipping over, our communication to those charged with governance. I think it was probably one of the first pages after the PowerPoint presentation, but every year we have to communicate these points. We are providing reasonable assurance on the audit of financial statements, not absolute assurance. I tell everybody, if we were to test 100% of everything for a city, we'd be here every day, all hours of the day. We exercise professional judgment, maintain professional skepticism throughout the audit engagement. We do identify risk of material misstatement, not saying that there is material misstatement, but we identify where would that risk be when we're performing an audit. We evaluate appropriateness of accounting policies used by management, include whether there are conditions that raise substantial doubt that the city basically cannot function past 12 months. Again, I talked about the fund balance. Last I checked, I think the fund balance was at 144% of current year expenditures, or the current year that we're audited. Basically what that means is if you were to keep everything the same and not generate a single source of revenue, you would have basically 1.5 years of reserve to continue, which is good. It's very healthy. And then significant audit matters on the next page. We identified no material legal acts, no new accounting policies that were material impacted the financial statements. There were new standards that were adopted just like every year, but nothing that changed the accounting policy of the city of Port Allen. No transactions lacking authoritative guidance, no difficulties with management, no disagreements with management, and from what we are aware of, there were no consultations with other CPA firms. Basically, if there was not so much an issue, but an accounting policy or principle that the city was not sure of how to handle, if they reached out to another CPA firm, we would just want to know about it because that might impact our financial statements and we would want to know how to disclose it. And then the last page, communication with the charge of governance, significant audit matters. Major estimates are collection of accounts receivable, depreciation expense, and the pension and OPEB liability. Disclosures are neutral, consistent, and clear. There are no uncorrected misstatements. And we are not 100% complete. The report is 99% done. A lot of it is on our end. Just to, I know today Ken completed his first review of the financial report. We're sending it to second partner review. This was a great year, honestly. Compared to prior years, we were having consistent issues of late, not being able to provide timely documents, not having things ready for us to come out and perform the audit, material adjustments that needed to be made, accounts not being reconciled. I ran into no issues at all. This was by far the smoothest audit that I've had this year. Not just that I've had since I've been auditing the city of Port Allen. I wish Adrian was here because I could tell that he was working hard by all the emails he was sending me, the constant emails. Everybody was doing great. Michelle Jones at Falcon Winkler did great. Mayor, thank you again for getting everything collaborating. I know last year we got together and said we can't have this happen again. So thank y'all. Like I said, I wish Adrian was here because a lot of it was him and Michelle leading the charge. I thought it was convenient that he skipped this one. But no, if there's any questions, I know I went over a very high level. I know in prior years I kind of went into more details and I don't think that was really helpful. Y'all have the report, the draft of the financial statements. If you do have any questions, on the last page is my contact information where it says thank you, along with my email and phone number. So if you ever need anything, just please don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you, Tammy.
I don't know if y'all have to vote on that or not, but
I think only final adoption.
this is only a draft.
Draft, right.
Like I said, it's 99% done. I don't think anything's going to change, but we wanted to present like we usually would for a December board council meeting. All right. Thank y'all so much.
Thank
Y'all
you.
have a good Christmas.
Thank you, you too. 16, condemnation proceedings. 17, alcohol beverage permits. These were the permits that were submitted through today. We had 2 others that came in today. We're asking for you to approve Rose Food Mart, Circle K Stores, K&M Store, Easy In and Out is Rocky's Place, Jack's Place, Port Allen Seafood, Phoebe, which is Port Mart, French Quarter Bar and Daiquiri, and Chevron Food Mart and Hubbins. That's Rocky, yes. Asking for motion.
I make a motion.
And yes. Motion by Councilwoman Gordon, second by Councilman Hubble. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Joseph?
Have one in particular, or?
French Quarter Deck.
Just to say, I think we, reached out to you.
Yes,
He
ma'am.
did come in yesterday, I think.
Yes,
To
ma'am.
pay his, alcohol license. And because I knew it needed to be brought to the council and I wasn't sure, I had our clerk to reverse the payment. We put the payment in the, we locked it up and we touched base with him yesterday.
Yes,
to-
ma'am.
To let him know until meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
We have several complaints.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you clean it up?
So, yes, ma'am. So our goal is to eventually own Pick a Pack Chicken sometime next year, 2026. And right now we shut down at midnight. We will never open till 2 in the morning again, because nothing happens good after midnight, you know. So that's our goal, and hopefully we reach that goal this year. And we truly appreciate y'all. And we're starting to sell more food. We're trying to lean away from that club atmosphere. Yes, ma'am. And it's not the younger people; it's the older people that's fighting. You know, it's like 40-year-olds. Ah, yeah, yeah.
You say y'all gonna close at midnight, so what you saying, y'all don't need the security? The fight don't start till midnight, or?
I hope not, but everything, all the fights besides the one, my logic went out the door after, like 2 weeks ago. It's really ridiculous.
I know one incident happened before.
Yeah, it was.
So
Yeah, that's.
it's not necessarily a time.
Yeah, but
I
that's
just
why
think
we're.
that you need security regardless if you close at 10, 12,
Yeah.
or 2 o'clock, you know. To
Yes,
let them
ma'am.
know that they're not gonna come out there with the foolishness that you have an officer. And I know
Yeah.
somebody off the street being your security, because I can come security for you if that's the case.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
need a uniform officer. If you can't get 2, at least get 1.
And
We've had uniformed people staying outside and we, from 10 to 2, and they still had some problems.
You might need more than 1 uniform officer.
Well,
One outside, one inside.
well, we thought they could come, they do come inside, but they said they could only stay outside. So by the time, I mean, the police is right there. By the time they almost can get there fast as they're in their cars as they can coming down from the station. So the problem I think is more late at night when people drink more. And we've had 2 instances before that, but I think it was just coincidental that happened. And we need if the officers are going to be there, they need to make some arrests. There wasn't any arrest, but maybe one that tried to be arrested. So there's a problem with that.
Okay, well, we might need to get with the chief and see what can you come up with, what kind of plans he can come to help you to control that. Because, you know, we don't want it to be a blinking in the city where people saying, oh, everybody,
That October? November 1st. So it's the end of October going into November 1st.
It wasn't in there, but they always had an officer in the vehicle. So, I mean, that's the clubs that I know.
I do know we can't control that. That's something I need to go talk with Dr. Mason too. But one of the biggest things is they on that side of the building, that's on side of the Pick a Pack, and then they have a string of cars going all the way down to Circle K. So now, if one officer is sitting directly in front of it, they can't see everything that's going on the other side of the building. So, and I'm saying out of my own experience, I was coming from Better
like I said, I feel like if they're not inside, that's just like a party. We have to pay for officers to, whether it's juvenile or whoever, if you're having alcohol, you have to have 2 officers at a party. So you can't control people going outside, it's true, but you can tell them that if you're not inside of my establishment,
Yeah.
you need to tell that officer, use your loudspeaker and get on it and say, hey, you need to remove from this premises, or go inside or be removed. I mean, that's the same thing. Right.
Calm down. So that's one of the biggest things that we were trying to address. Because if they is coming to your establishment, they
Yeah.
can get inside, instead of standing outside and making it that much harder to control, especially when alcohol.
But we really cannot hear them responsible for them being on Dr. Mason them property. Dr. Mason them have to set up something, say to you all that they're not allowed to have people on his property. And once they come on Dr. Mason property, then the police officer need to escort them off their property.
Yeah, I'm speaking
Right.
of the French Quarter property. If they're outside,
You know what I'm
standing
saying?
in
But
front
they're
of the,
cooking over at Dr.
yeah,
Mason's
Dr.
yard.
Mason has to
Yeah, so
handle
they
that.
have to- yeah,
But
they-
if they're
they are
outside
responsible for that.
if they're outside the daiquiri shop and not inside,
Right.
then you need to let law enforcement know. That's why I feel like you need a law enforcement officer
Yeah.
there.
So that was another thing, a couple years ago we did. I don't know this relationship with Dr. Mason, although they have, and was something that was addressed a couple of years ago, and I remember when I was on the road, that was one of the things we was helping enforce those people from being on that property. I do remember at one point in time, you got, enforce those people from going. Barricade people from leaving.
Yeah.
It lasted a while, and it helped deter a lot of extra stuff and chaos on his property. I don't know if you talked to Dr. Mason and they ended up coming up with an agreement or something, but it stopped. But when that was there in place, it was helping reduce a lot of stuff, especially on that property.
That building?
Yes. No, I didn't say that. I said, you said, ask me
about the
when the
crowd.
crowd is
Oh,
coming.
you talking about the crowd?
Yeah.
I'm asking you about when do you start serving?
2
the
o'clock.
crowd? Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking. Because I'm trying to see where your time frame can come in for your security, for an officer to come in. You may not need an officer from no 2 to 10. You might can have it from 8 to 12 instead of 2 p.m. to 12 midnight. If you start, your crowd start coming in at 8 and 9 o'clock when you serving alcohol. Maybe that's when you can get your officer in from that 9 to 12. That's just only 3 hours that you would have to pay for. Well, either, okay, let's say, yeah, so at least you pay.
But you got to understand, we safety first.
Yeah.
So you got to help us so we can help you.
None of them work through me, work security through me.
How are you? I mean, if you get an officer, then you can stay open to 2. That's what I mean. I don't understand.
We never wanted a nightclub. We're trying to get out there completely.
Y'all turned it into a nightclub. We didn't turn it into one.
No.
Y'all ain't for dapper shopping. Y'all made
So-
it out of a nightclub.
We had to do that to survive. So now we're almost at our goal for our down payment for this building. And then we're going from there.
How reasonable or probability rate of acquiring the
What's the question?
You said you're going to own it.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any concrete time frame?
We're hoping 2026.
2026?
Yeah.
First 6 months?
Sometime.
Right, that's what,
Yeah,
early,
yeah.
mid, or late.
What, interest rates, stuff like that?
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Interest rates to drop so we can, it'd be more affordable.
We just was approved for a loan to buy the building on 201 Jefferson. It was a bar right here. The old pizza. And we were gonna get away from that area and do away with the dagger shop and start a gym, but the plumbing wasn't good over there, so we deterred from that situation. So that's how serious I was.
seen it pass when we close up at midnight.
It's,
But we're not telling you that you have to close at 10. It's your choice. So, you know, at any time, you might say, well, it's 10, midnight not working for me, 2 extra hours, we do great. So, you know, we just saying, we're not telling you that you have to do it. That's your decision, your choice.
we feel comfortable at midnight. Yeah. It's,
Because I know you might say, oh, wow, all these
Yeah.
people coming in and we finna close. No, we're gonna stay over till 2. So, you know.
all money ain't good money. Yeah.
I don't know now. You trying to buy a pick a pack.
Yeah.
Motion?
You had a motion on the floor, Ms. Gordon.
We should be clear on what we're doing.
Yeah.
So well, we made the motion and then we started
Can I see that,
the
sir?
discussion.
The motion on the floor is to
Can I see-
approve all the applications.
Global.
That was seconded by.
Mr. Hubble, maybe I'm just gonna
We
say
have a
my.
motion and we have a second.
Okay. Anyone from the audience wish to be heard? Roll call, please.
Ms. Joseph? Yeah. Ms. Gordon?
Here? Yes. I want to see your menu. That's what I'm saying.
Mr. Hubble?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I want to clarify something. We're doing in global, everything that we have listed here.
Everything in Mary.
And then I had 2. Chevron, Food Mart, and Hubbins.
Okay, but we're talking about additional procedures with French Quarter.
Yes.
Okay, so if we're approving all of this in global,
We did not put any additional requirements.
We
okay,
need
so
to, though.
well, what's the agreement? Because we're talking about monitoring and all of that.
We, just like any other situation in the city, the chief is gonna have a log of how much manpower his officers is using, how many calls for help they're having. You know, this business is now on the radar, so that they'll track that, and should we feel like it's a problem, that it's becoming a nuisance, then, you know, the matter will be brought back, and the council can look at legal action at that point in time.
So basically, that the chief have to keep up with the paperwork of what's going on.
So kind of just telling, you know, they're here tonight, they're hearing the council's concerns, that, look, you know, we're gonna be looking at you, you know, we expect things to change and it's gonna be monitored. But there's no formal requirement, you know, they said down that they're gonna be closing at midnight, well, we'll see how that plays out, if that has effect on anything or not.
I have a question. So if we banned a lot of people, and is it okay to call the police if they try to come back in?
Yes.
Would that be considered an incident?
You're in private
Okay,
property,
yeah.
tell somebody they're not
'Cause-
welcome,
yeah,
It's a trespass.
okay. Because mentally, in my head, I'm scared to call the police because I don't want to be put under the radar, you know?
Then it might something
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah,
Right.
okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay. I don't want to be put, downplayed on that situation. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes, sir.
My name is Green, Gloria Green. I work there for him. And I also help out. I call the police with the quickness. You know, I don't like no trouble, anything out of ordinance or whatever, but I would make sure that everything be taken care of also.
What's your name?
Gloria Green. I'm the bartender there.
Uncle John?
No, Green off of Maryland.
Mayor. Oh, yes.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Don't get us wrong, we're not trying to penalize you or anything like, we're not trying to nail you up to the wall or anything like that. There's just been some concerns.
Yeah.
And like Ms. Joseph said, you're try to have more safety like that.
Right.
And when you have, hey, I like to drink once in a while, but alcohol, you know, it's a fire starter for trouble.
Yes, sir.
Wherever it is, you know, but, you know, we don't want you to feel like we're trying to single you out. We're not trying to do that. And we want you to have a successful
appreciate
business.
Really appreciate
I
it.
hope that,
Yeah.
safety is
Yeah.
what the council, mayor,
Definitely.
that's part of our deal.
Yes.
Right, and I still want it on record that I feel like you need an officer. I thought they would back me, but I feel like an officer needs to be present and paid for, because that's gonna cause confusion for people that's renting other facilities that have to have officers and never have drama at anything they have.
Cause it
So
looks
they
like a
have to-
free-for-all right now.
Right, so we have to pay, and they went up on their prices, so we have to pay for us as citizens, cause I had to do it and everybody else. So it's not, nothing against you, I just feel like an officer there, if an officer is there and they need backup, that's something different. But I'm not telling you to get two, but I do think you need one.
Just the presence of it.
Right.
And we are begging, we do need an officer. We do feel like y'all need one.
I've been in contact with Mike from that time, and I'll reach back out to him and
Yes.
He knew
Appreciate
from
it.
the meeting, I told him, I thought he needed two.
that was one of the things that we did tell him. He can attest to this. Our main concern, myself, the mayor, the council, is the safety of the community.
Right.
So that's the main reason why we spoke to you. That's why we're here today.
Yeah.
Because we was all concerned. Not only myself, but the council and the mayor, people come to them and they post their concerns all the time.
Yes, sir.
I mean, especially if y'all have events. I don't know if y'all have events.
We never
every
have
weekend.
events. I don't want to become an event center.
Right,
I'm focusing on restaurant and daiquiris, and that's it.
or even, I mean, y'all have a DJ every weekend?
Yeah. Like whenever I post, I never post about my DJ. It's always about my product. Because you know that's what I want to sell. How I want to sell myself.
I would do a cover charge. I would lower the people coming.
I did at one time, and it affected my business because the other clubs, I don't want to be called a club, but you know, I want to become a restaurant. You know,
Then I wouldn't do the DJ.
yeah,
I would focus on the restaurant, and your daiquiris.
yeah. I'm slowly weeding it out. Yeah.
Okay, so we're back to the, vote we're doing in global. Okay, we have,
We had two votes, three votes, Ms. Gordon and Mr. Chilton. Mr. Hubble hadn't voted yet.
I'm gonna say yes, but I think it needs to be contingent on some of these requests that we made, but, on them. Would it be too much to ask? Would it be out of place? If you're gonna stay open till 2, for you to commit to having an officer there?
We'd have to, I'm pretty sure we'd have to, because you know, it helps when they're around. That's,
It does help.
I mean,
Well, it's a deterrent.
yeah. If we do go to 2,
Kevin?
we probably have to have
Out of line asking that? Yeah,
right, but they're not opening until two, so they wouldn't have an officer. But something can still happen between the time they're open until 12.
Said that keeping it open till 2 will compensate for the money to hire an officer. So if you're staying open till 2, you
Well,
have the officer.
let us, Chief Mitchell said he was gonna get with them and work
Yeah,
some out.
and
So
work
let's
something
just
out.
let
Let's
him
go
work
with
some out, and then
would
when
see
he
what
come back,
happens
give us
there.
all the information,
And-
then we go from there.
You know,
'Cause we don't know what they might work out. Might
We'll
be a
do
good
whatever
deal, what they can
y'all
come
need
up
us to
with
do.
together.
We'll see if
So
it
let them
works.
just work out and then
what
bring
they're
it back to
working
us.
out.
Yes,
Let's let that play out.
right.
It tends to be a
So we
problem.
going round and round with the
We
same
can always
stuff.
bring this
and-
back, look at, all right, this looks like it's a nuisance, is the council gonna take action to maybe shut it down at that point in time, or implement certain requirements at that point in time? But, yeah, I'm just not sure where we're at that point in time.
this point in time, he don't need not one officer.
I'm just saying at this point in time, they've already made some adjustments to the hours. And they say that they think that's gonna help. Chief is gonna monitor it, again, looking at the amount of calls that's gonna go there and see if that's actually gonna make a difference or not. And then once we have that data, now the council will be in a better position to, act. It's like, all right, well, let's try that. It didn't work. So now you're gonna have to do things. But, let's let them have the opportunity to try it. And again, chief will be monitoring. If it doesn't work, we'll formulate a new plan at that point in time.
I'm good with that.
Okay, roll call, the rest of the council, get the vote.
So the motion to approve in Globo, we have a motion by,
Ms. Gordon,
seconded by,
Mr. Hubble,
we have 2 recorded votes.
Ms. Joseph, yes, Ms. Gordon, yes.
Yes.
Mr. Hubble, Ms. King,
Yes.
Mr. Payne.
Yes.
Motion passes, Mayor.
Okay, the first announcement I have, the city of Port Allen will start cutoffs, tomorrow. We will begin, the cutoff now is 33 pages. I know they're used to not being cut off in December, but with us changing the reconnect fees, instead of starting this month, I decided to wait until January. So, we will start cutoff this month in December. Again, today, our cutoff list was 33 pages. So, it's a lot, and that's why we asked for the reconnect fees to be increased, because our guys walk the city to read the meters. They walk the city to cut off the meters, and they have to walk the city to turn back on the meters. So it's a lot that they do, during cutoffs. And again, we are cutting off this month, so.
Mayor, I just cut y'all. 33 pages?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now what would happen when we have a hard freeze and we gonna cut them off still?
I have never, even during the snowstorm, when we had started cutoffs before and they said the snow was coming, they went and turned everybody back on. I'm not,
33 people.
I'm not heartless, but 33 pages
Yeah,
is a
that's
lot, for them to do within a month's time. A lot.
But they come and pay and then they run back, you gotta go back and turn it back on.
That is November, right, November still. December just went out. Also, we have, neighborhood watch meeting, Tuesday coming, December 16th at 6 p.m. This is the last one for the year. I think they're going to try to send out, some type of correspondence starting in January. But they have been having the neighborhood watch meetings for several months now, and it's a lot of pertinent information that you learn from the meetings. Officer Celestine has been great coming to the meetings, giving information, interacting with the few that we've had there. So if you would like to start, they're here on the 3rd floor for now. The next one, like I said, is Tuesday at 6 p.m. Senior citizen event, is tomorrow, 6 p.m., West Baton Rouge Community Center. We have a few tickets. Tomorrow, at the West Baton Rouge Community Center, at 6 p.m. We do have a few tickets, left, if you would like to come. You can see our secretary, Ms. Lynette, to put you just down as a count. Not that your name has to be put in, but just a count for us to have. Mandatory, training for council and all city employees is Monday. The sexual harassment trainings from 11 to 2. City Hall will be closed from 11 to 2 Monday, at the William and Lee Community Center.
And also Saturday is, One West Baton Rouge Community, Cooperative Toy Drive from 11 to 1 Saturday at William and Lee Center. And any of my council members who would like to